Hi, I'm Tim Bartz, Internet Sales Manager here at McArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas, where you can find the complete guide walkarounds on your Ford and Lincoln vehicles, specific to the model and trim. We call them our complete guides because we cover all the standard equipment as well as the different optional equipment groups, different packages, and standalone options, and even factory installed options in these videos. They are very extensive. That's why we call them a complete guide. We will be doing one on the XL trim of the F-150 as well as XLT. We already have one out already on YouTube on the Lariat trim, so you can check that video out. But if you like some of those types of videos, some informational videos on the F-150s or the Ford vehicles, as well as informational type videos like we're going to do in this video, check out our YouTube channel. Hit the red subscribe button down below so you can get subscribed to our channel. Hit the notification bell. You also get notified the next time we have another video uploaded to our YouTube channel. So in this video, we are going to cover the Sync 4 screen. The Sync 4 system, I should say, with the 8-inch touchscreen. So this is the system that will be standard on all your XLs. And there's a little difference if you go up to the 101A as well as the XLT. So I'll talk about the differences on those systems, but both of them will get the 8-inch touchscreen. So factory 8-inch touchscreen, standard equipment on all 2021 F-150. So Sync 4 is getting rolled out first on the F-150. We'll also be seeing it roll out on some of the other Ford vehicles, like the Bronco. This summer, you're going to be seeing this same Sync 4 system with the 8-inch touchscreen in your Bronco 2-door, 4-doors, up to the mid-package or the base equipment. If you go up to the high package or luxury package, you're going to be seeing the 12-inch screen, which we already have a video on the 12-inch screen with the Sync 4 we've done. Actually should be going live as we record this video, in fact, today. So be looking for that. So by the time this video is out, that video has already been out, so you can go ahead and check the timestamp down below. I'll try to put it on there. If not, check out our how-to video playlist, and it'll be listed in there if you want to on our YouTube channel. So we're going to talk about the Sync 4 system, but do keep in mind at any time if you watch this video and like the information we're giving you, would like to work with us as a Ford dealer, we do free shipping about anywhere in the country. So check out more information about our free shipping at the end of this video. I'll have a timestamp down in the description for that. In fact, speaking of that, this is going to be a very thorough video. This is a how-to video. I'm going to go over every little aspect and button and click on this. It'll be long, it'll be extensive. The one on the Sync 4 is about an hour long. So at any time, if you want to bounce around, I'm going to have timestamps for different sections of the video and different features of the Sync system. So if you want to move around at any time, check the description. Also, if you're watching this on desktop, you can just click on the timeline for those different sections and you can move along. So let's go ahead and dive inside. Let's go ahead and cover this system. I will tell you before we dive inside that the Sync 4 with the 8-inch touchscreen versus the 12-inch touchscreen is a little different. There are a few extra features in the 12-inch touchscreen, of course. 8-inch touchscreen is still going to get all the great benefits of the Sync 4, and there are kind of two different versions to the 8-inch touchscreen. There is the Sync 4 that's going to be standard, and there is also an upgraded voice recognition system. We'll talk more about that when we get inside. Okay, so we're going to get in here. We're going to talk about this system now. There are two different versions of this. Depends on what equipment group you have and if you get this other optional enhanced system. So there's two versions. Sync 4 with the voice recognition, the 911 assist, everything. A lot of the features we're going to talk about are going to be included in both of those. But there is an optional on the XL with the 101A equipment group as well as the XLT with the 300A equipment group. You're going to have it's optional equipment, which is it's going to also be standard on the 301A equipment group for the XLT. It's going to be a more enhanced recognition system with the connected navigation. So you're going to see this looks maybe a little different than the standard. So I want to go over some of the differences between the two first so that you can see that as we're going through it. Now, the enhanced system, the optional one, this particular XL with the 101A equipment group we ordered it on, has the connected navigation. So what that means is you're going to have the connected navigation system for this, but the difference on this one is that, go back, there you go, is that with this one here is you're going to have to pay for subscription. And since a lot of these you can see in the menu are grayed out, it's because this one has you have a built-in and you have a connected on those. So when you go up to the 302A equipment group on the XLT, you have the option to have a built-in connected navigation, which means that you're going to get 3 months for free. On this one, the reason these are grayed out is because this is the connected without the built-in, so you have to start paying for subscription. Since it's a new vehicle, we haven't done that on this particular vehicle. So when we get to that part, we'll actually show you some clips from the video we did earlier on that. The other difference on this is the better enhanced voice recognition system, which gives you the voice controls. So I'm going to show you that right now. Under the settings, under voice control, you can actually have a wake-up word, which is really cool. So you can have like 4 different options, like you can see it on the screen. I'm not going to say it. You can say OK forward pass. You can say OK forward sync, and actually it did it because forward and forward pass are included. You have OK forward sync. And it's probably going to do it again, and then you have hello Ford. So I can actually click on that and say hello Ford. There you go. So it's listening now for my different commands. You can also use the button on there if you want to. Now if you don't have the enhanced recognition system, you will not have this feature. That's something that you will not have. You will have to press the button like that. I just pressed the button. Oh, sorry. You press the voice button, and then it brings it up. So you will have to press that button on the left side of your steering wheel to be able to activate it. So that's one of the differences, as well as the navigation. So 2 different differences there. There are other features in here. We'll cover those in a second, but I wanted to tell you the differences between the 2 systems, between the Sync 4 system and the enhanced recognition Sync 4 system for those, and how you get those. So again, the system, the regular Sync 4 is going to be standard in your XL 100A. When you go up to the 101A or your XLT 300A, as optional equipment, you can get this system, the enhanced recognition system, and then it will become standard on an XLT 301A equipment group. It'll be standard on that one. It'll be included already. And then XLT 302 is the 12-inch touchscreen. So let's go ahead and go through this. Again, we're going to break it down from sections. This is your home screen here. So you can see, since this one does have the upgraded nav, you're going to see that in this corner here, and you're going to have 2 other features over here. If you have the 100A or you have the base Sync 4 system, instead of the nav over here, you're going to have your radio, or one of these other features will be over here. Usually your phone's always going to be over in that corner, and then usually your radio is going to be up there. So you're going to have those 3 quadrants, like you did see with the Sync 3 system, so not too different there and how that's set up. And I did go ahead and connect my phone so we can show you some of the phone features as we go through those. So now let's first go down here in the bottom. You see those little buttons. We're going to go through each of those, and those are going to be the different timestamps you can find down in the description. So let's start with audio. So click here. You have the audio screen, the main audio screen here. You can see up here in the corner you have sources. So click on that, and you have option from AM, FM, Sirius XM, and when you do get this, that's actually a 3rd feature I forgot to mention as part of the upgraded and Sync 4 system, is you do get XM satellite radio standard equipment on it, included with it as well. So a lot of features for $325. If you want to upgrade, it's almost a no-brainer if you get the 101A equipment group or the XLT 300A, is to just go ahead and get it, the optional navigation for $325, because you get the Sirius XM, and then you can do Bluetooth phone as well. So click on any of those. So go back here. It's actually right now too at the bottom down here you can see presettings. So these presettings can be combined with the Sirius as well. As you can see, if I swipe, you have 2 different sections of 5 buttons there to presettings. There is some Sirius XM buttons there too, so it can mixed in. You can see some AM stations as well as FM stations mixed in. So it's not dedicated to just your FM or AM or whatever you're on. It's 10 different presettings. I'll show you how you can get more presettings when we get to settings in a little bit. Also, you can direct tune if you want. Click on that and then just press in, I want 89.7, and then enter, and it's going to go to that station right there. So that one's pretty simple, not too difficult to understand how this system works. There are some audio settings we're going to get to when we get to the settings buttons, but we'll move on to the phone. So click on the phone there. And again, I already connected my phone, so I have several different things. I'm going to blur out some information because a lot of this is information on my phone, and I'm sure some of my contacts would not want that information out there on the video, so I will gray it out. But if you click on the favorites, it will pull up and show you your favorite people that you typically call. Right there on the top, so it's in your phone as favorites. It's going to be on this list, and you can scroll up and just press them pretty easily if you want to call them. Again, you can use the voice commands to do that as well. Just press a button and say call a number or call whoever it is, and it's going to call it out of your phone book once you connect your phone. recent calls. You can click there and it shows you your recent calls. And again, I'm graying that out or blurring that out for you here, so you can see the different calls, whether it be incoming or outgoing calls. You can see your recent calls. So if you want to quickly, click on that and call them back, you can do that as well there. You do have contacts, so click on that again and show you that'll be your contacts. And you can actually, if you have a lot of contacts, you can actually search for contact by pressing, typing that in there, and it's going to pull it up and allow you to drill down if you want to. And again, all these, you can touch these buttons and to find these and do this, but it's all available by voice commands too. You can just press that, and I'm going to show you the easy how-to on what voice commands do what here when we get to settings and some features there. Then you do have keypads, so again, you can just press the phone number in and hit the call button when you do, whatever it might be. Right there, put in the dealership number, I can hit call, and then it's calling. Again, you can also do that by voice command if you want to. That's really the easiest way. Some people maybe don't like to do that, but so you can do it the typing in way, or you can do it that way. And then you have phone list. And right now it's only showing my phone in there, but if you have yourself or a spouse, maybe a kid that drives the vehicle, you may see several phones in there, and then you can tell it to which phone that you want to connect it to. And again, when you go back, you're always up here in the right hand corner is going to show you what phone is connected to it. And at any time, you can go to the phone list and you can select the other name. When you select it, you'll see it comes up. Right now it's connected to this one. You can disconnect and then I can pick which one I want. So, and then you can even have settings for each of those phones too, like manage contacts, how do you want it sorted by. You can re-download your contacts. You can delete all contacts from vehicle, that kind of thing. Right there you can set your ringtone. So if you can use the phone's ringtone, which is typically what it has in there. You can do no ringtone, or you can do several different options. You just press the little play button and it shows you what it sounds like, that kind of thing, if you want to. So sometimes when you get it in the system, you'll hear that tone instead of the phones. I like that. I think recently in the Sync 4 that they've added to where it's the phone's ringtone now instead of that type of ringtone like we've had in the past. Text messaging as well. You have some, do not disturb for text messaging. You have, some prompts in here, so it brings it up. A lot of times the text message will come up and you can listen to it, but usually you can't respond. And so then you have different tones for that as well right there that you can have for text messages. You can see then it usually pops up. It'll prompt you up there, and then you can press that when that text messages come in. You can edit, you can have certain responses, so you can do some canned responses. So I am driving, can I give you a call? Calling might be easier than trying to text, so that you can always have those. You can just press that and then it responds to that if you want those canned responses right there. Not sure if you can add any others. It doesn't look like. So you can always do whatever. Okay, I'm outside, whatever it might be. You can do those different things, those text responses, so you can click on it, click a response, and it's a little bit easier instead of trying to type a text message while you're driving, which you should not be doing. So you can do several different things. You can mute audio and when you're in privacy, roaming, warning, low battery notification, that kind of thing. You can have those on activated and deactivated. And so that's all dedicated to my phone. So each person can have their own setting for the ringtones and such. You just go into your settings and decide how you want those settings for your phone. Now that's actually an area I did not cover in the Sync 4 in the last video, so but it's pretty easy to go through that and figure that out. Again, messaging, we actually kind of already talked about that. That actually messaging shows you the text messages you received and when you received them over there. So you can see those, and actually you can replay the text messages. If you press it, then it shows it up on the screen. You can actually press the hear it, and you can hear the text message, and you can call them back, and you can hit the reply. So if I do hit the reply, we'll do it on this one here, then you have those canned messages. So you can even listen to it.
I'm on my way.
So you can listen to those, and then you can select that, and it replies back. I'm not going to do that, of course, right now, but that'll reply that text message back. So that's another way if you're going in there, or if it got cleared out and you want to go back and do it later, you can. Voice Assistant, click that, and that just allows you when it's highlighted that it uses your phone or not. So there's no explanation to this in there. I'm assuming that when you hit the Voice Assistant, then it's using the phone instead of the system for the Voice Assistant for that. So it wants to be able to connect to your phone. and then you have do not disturb. Click that, and then you don't have those phone calls coming through and such. So that's all the information on the phone. So pretty intuitive and easy to figure out for the most part. Sometimes connecting your phone up may be the hardest thing, and I went ahead and connected that ahead of time, but your dealership should connect your phone. But it is pretty easy to connect more phones. If I go to phone list, I can add a phone. When you do that,
search for your vehicle on your device and select it once it is found.
now if you have multiple vehicles, you have a hard time finding it, you can actually just click the Discover Bluetooth and hit continue, and it should pop up on your phone and bring that up, so that then you can just press it and you can pair it and connect it that way. And since I've already done that, it's not allowing me to do that, but it makes it a little bit easier, so you can always do that. So we're going to close that out.
Search for your vehicle on your device and select it once it is
There you
found.
go. All right, so automatically went over to settings. So okay, so we've covered the phone, and I'm going to actually connect back up to my phone. Actually, maybe I should, I might actually just disconnect from my phone. Let's go there, and let's go disconnect, because that way if I get any phone calls or anything, it won't actually pop up on our screen and bother our video here. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect it. So right now I'm not connected to a phone within the system. So going over to the nav, a couple ways of getting there, of course, on all these too. If you're on the home screen, you can click on any of those. So this is the phone. So if I want to go to the phone features, I would just click that. It would first connect it. But if you're already connected, then you're going to go to automatically go to those phone features as well as radio. If I click on the radio, it's going to go over here to this tab. If I'm on the you see the navigation, I click on that, it's going to automatically go to the navigation. Or you can just press the buttons down here, one or the other. You're going to see the nav screen on here. It is pinch to zoom, manipulate is touch screen to move that around. Hit reset view, it goes back to that. Couple different ways to get to different information on here. If you click the little hamburger, some people call it, you'll see here we do have to have that subscription up here. So this is the menu section, and so what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to show you a clip from the video I did on the Sync 4 with a 12-inch touchscreen. So that it's going to be the bigger screen, but it's still going to have all these same features, and show you how to use those features in that clip, because that one was a built-in connected navigation, so it already had the 3-month subscription, unlike this one, which we have to add it. So that's why everything's grayed out. So I'm going to show you that video, and then we'll come back to finish on some other features on this. And you can see there's 8 different options there for you. You do have map orientation, so let's click on that. And that's just how this map is going to look. It kind of shows you a little display. If you want the buildings coming up, more of a 3D, heads up means whatever direction you're turning, the arrow is always going to be facing up. If you want to go to more of the 2D, that's just basically it's just kind of the flat. And again, it's heading up, which means that whatever direction you're driving is always facing up. And then you have 2D north up, which means that the north of the map will always be facing up. So not necessarily how you're pointed. So you can choose whatever you like there with this system pretty easily on that map orientation. Voice just allows whether or not you want them telling you things instead of just having it on the screen and having the map there. So you want it to say turn right at the next street or whatever, it'll tell you all those voice commands through the system, so you can turn it on and off right here if you don't want that on there. Traffic on the map, so it's grayed out right now because we don't actually have a route or a navigation route going, but when you do, it'll show you traffic within that map that you may want to avoid at any time. And then avoid on route, so click on that and it's our settings. So do we want to avoid highways, toll roads, tunnels, ferries, that kind of thing? You can avoid those things by checking those boxes. It'll try to avoid the toll roads, it'll try to avoid the tunnels, highways if you want to, and just take country roads or whatever. Then it'll give you the right route for avoiding those things, so you can change those in your settings. Show on map, so this is what things you want to show on your map. Saved would be your saved locations, so places that you've gone to often that you've saved, that's where those are going to be showing on the map. You have gas stations, food, parking. You have a whole list here of things that you want to see on the map when you see the map there. So right now, of course, you see they're not clicked. So when you get your vehicle, it'll probably be the same way. If you want those, you need to make sure you go into that screen to activate those. trailer routing. So this means that you do have a trailer and you want to have a trailer optimized routing. So maybe there's certain streets that just are not made for trailers. So if you're towing something, maybe a good thing for you to activate that, and then you can click on the towing menu, and also right here you'll notice it goes to features, but here's where you have a checklist for your towing. So you connection checklist, let's go ahead and go through that. You have a conventional, that'd be your tongue. It basically takes you step by step on connecting your trailer, making sure you've done everything. You've connected it, you've locked the ball, you've attached your wiring, electrical there, your chains are connected, you have your breakaway switch, is that connected? Have you checked your lights to make sure they're functioning? Have you brought up your tongue jack and secured it? Have you, if you have trailer tow mirrors, have you extended them out for towing and adjusted them? And then have you adjusted your trailer brake controller gain settings? So you go through all those checklists. There's one for conventional, gooseneck, and fifth wheel. Yes, F-150 can tow a fifth wheel. Father has one, and with the 6.5 foot bed, tows it just fine. So you have those different checklists. You can add a trailer. So if it's a trailer you use often, you can put that in there so that way you don't have to adjust any kind of settings. You can select it right there. Of course, we don't have one, but you can select your different trailers there. Manage trailers as well. Let's say you had one in there, you connected once, it was a friend's or something, you want to delete it, you can do that from this screen. And then you can trailer connection notification, you want that on, and then trailer sway controlled, you want that activated and on as well, right there by highlighting, and just press those little buttons and they're going to turn on and off pretty easily there. So there's where that setting is for part of your towing on the map. So you can do it through the map. You can also do it through the features. We'll show you that in just a little bit. Weather, so it's not showing that because we don't have that connected yet. We're not on Ford Pass, but it will show you weather coming through on the map. And then you do have more settings. So this is be your routing and map preferences. So automatically reroute to avoid traffic. So you can activate. Right now it's deactivated, so you'll want to make sure you activate that if you want to do that. Use carpool lanes when routing. The 3D map, so you click on that and you can say, do I want to see buildings and landmarks? I don't care about landmarks, but yeah, I like buildings. You can uncheck those boxes. And then, of course, you have it on here. Preferred routing type is fastest. You can change that to the eco-friendly, so whatever version, whatever way you want it to. And then, do you want the breadcrumbs? That shows you your map of where you're going. And when you've passed certain places, it leaves the breadcrumb behind you to show you where you've been. You can turn that on and off, or have it on auto. I'm not sure what the auto is what that's gonna look like, but you can change that. Some other preferences there. And then you also do have privacy down here. What privacy means is that, do you want to clear your save list or your search history? So there's been situations where people have had their vehicle stolen and they've had the navigation there, and they've actually had one that said home, and they could actually click on that and know exactly where those people lived. And if they had their car and they had their keys, then they could get into their house. So you can actually have that clear that data for you if you want to, and through this screen here in the privacy. So, and then there's some other factory settings and such. Anytime you need to know anything about something, press a little I, and it's going to bring you up information and let you know what that is all about. So you click that right there. Okay, and then you have the about, just shows you what map version you have right there, what navigation version you have right there. Going back, we've covered everything as part of the menu. So as you can see with that, other than the big 12-inch touchscreen, everything should be the same as it would be with this system here. And then, of course, if I click on that, that actually goes to the menu. You can also get to that through the settings as well through there, but through that you can be able to set your destination and such. So we're going to go on over to apps now. So click on apps, and you have a couple different things here. You can find mobile apps and mobile apps help. So find mobile apps. It does want me to actually, maybe I should try to connect, but if you have your phone connected, it's actually going to try to find mobile apps that the Sync 4 system can use that might be on your phone. And one of them usually is the Ford Pass. The Ford Pass will come up on here when you connect your phone. Let's go ahead and connect my phone real quick. And go. There we go. So we're connected. So if I go over to apps now, Forward Pass, there you go. Forward Pass pops up because I'm connected, and that's one thing that it allows you to do is use the Forward Pass app through this. So if I click on that, then if I want to enable it, I say yes, and then it should be able to give you information. It says permissions not received, cannot connect to server. I think you have to connect to your Forward Pass. You have to have the vehicle and think in your Forward Pass app to be able to connect to that. And of course, I don't have this phone tied to that because I want to do that for the owner of the vehicle that gets that. So let's go back to the apps. You also have an app catalog, so it'll actually let you try to add different apps. Right now there's not any in there, and it just may be that I don't have any apps on my phone that's something that can be used. I don't use Alexa. I do know Alexa can be used on this, and some other different apps. I think Pandora can be used as well, and some of those streaming audio apps can be used and would show up in here as well. So I'll go back to that, and then you can get the mobile apps help. So what's really cool about the helps is that if you're having questions, don't know how to use this, you can go through this and click on any of these, and it actually actually wants to connect on that one, but on these others, whoops, go back to that. On these others, if you click on it, it gives you a little more information about it. So like how to compatibility apps list. So there it tells you for a list of apps. You can just read through all that. So it's pretty cool how a lot of these, if you click any eyes or anything like that, it actually gives more information. It pops up on your screen, so you can just read through it and figure it out yourself. You don't need a video or myself here to be able to tell you that. So that's another way of being able to do that. So let's go over to settings now. And in the settings is where you're going to find your course settings for all the different buttons we've already talked about. So sound, of course, will do for your audio. So let's click on that. You do have tone settings. So you have your treble, mid-range, bass. That's how you would adjust that. You can always reset it back to factory just by hitting reset all. Okay, then you have balance and fade. So if, let's say not everybody wants to listen to the radio in here. Maybe the kids in the back have their phones. They have something else plugged in. They don't need the audio back there. Of course, you can fade this up. Let's see, the driver and front passenger wants to listen to the radio, they can. Maybe even the passenger over there isn't, so you can then balance it over to you, and then most of that audio is just directed around you instead, so you can always do that as well. If I would put this back where it was, I think it was there. So you can always move that around. So you can also, depending on your speed, the volume can be raised or lowered, depends on that speed. So when you're on the highway, because of wind noise, you may want it to go up. You can also turn that off if you want to, just by changing these settings right through here. And then you do have your occupancy mode. So you have driver or all seats for your audio. So we had it clicked on all seats, of course, so that's how we did see all the occupants in here and showing that. So all right, so there's all the settings for that. So I'm going to actually move down to radio because they kind of have to go together a little bit. So we're going to go to radio there. You have radio text and you have preset pages. So radio text, if you click the I, will tell you that it's information that's on an FM radio station that might be available, like maybe the song name or the artist name would show up and pop up on that screen and show you that, and that's only if it's available. So that's kind of a cool feature. And then you have presetting pages. So we did see 2 earlier, but if I take it to 6, right? Now I'm going to go ahead and back out of this. I'm going to go over to your audio. You'll see the presetting. You have 5 there, but you'll see there's 6 dashes now. So now there's 10, there's 15, there's 20, 25, and 30 different presettings. So you can do, if you have more than 10 and you go, I need more, go into your settings, just like we did, go into radio, and then change that presetting pages from 2 to however many you need. So from the factory, it'll be at 2. So that's where you'd want to change those if you ever want to do that. Going up to clock, this is where we would adjust the time. So daylight savings time is actually coming this weekend for us here in the spring. So you want to move that clock, you adjust it there. AM, PM. You want 24-hour mode, you can do that. Auto time update, you can also select that too, and it will automatically update. Click the I there. Of course, it tells you when enabled, automatically adjust the clock when you enter a time zone and adjust for daylight savings time. So that's kind of cool if you have it's set on auto now, so it should change like tomorrow for us here. So phone list, again, we did see that earlier on the phone settings. So that's same information, same page here, so I won't go over that since we already did that. Connectivity, This is connected vehicle features. So, vehicle connectivity. Again, click any of the eyes and it gives you all the information, controls the vehicle's cellular and Wi-Fi connections for services for over-the-air updates. So that's something also new with the Sync 4 is that there's over-the-air updates now. So you don't have to be connected to Wi-Fi to download the updates. You get over-the-air updates, which may be why we may not see any more new upgrades to the Sync systems like a Sync 5 or 6 because they can just update over-the-air now to any of the vehicles that have the Sync 4 system and get those updates, software updates at any time. So that's pretty cool, and that's how you want to make sure that that's turned on. So you have that, and then of course shared vehicle data. You can look at it. Actually, will share the data back to Ford if you have that. If you don't want that information shared back to them, then you may want to move that. And then also any analytics for the vehicle to them. And this actually takes it, I believe, to your FordPass app. So you would want to make sure those are turned on if you want to know when it's time for a new oil change or something through your FordPass app because it'll tell you those features. So, and then of course, feature settings. I guess those are just highlights to those sections. So privacy settings there, and then feature settings is your Sirius XM with 360L. And I don't know a lot about 360L, but what I think basically what 360L is, if you have the Sirius XM app on your phone, let's say you're listening to it or even at home, and you go into your vehicle, it'll streamlessly, whatever you're listening to, take it into, especially I think if it's on your phone, then it'll go ahead and put that radio station or whatever you're listening to, and let's say it's a show or something, and move it over to your vehicle. So that's pretty cool how that works. If you press the I, that's just a more enhanced listening experience, as it says there, streaming channel, on-demand content, that kind of thing. It does require an active XM subscription, vehicle connectivity settings. This needs to be turned on for that. So that's pretty cool, and that's a new system. We've been seeing that in a lot of these vehicles, and even in the Sync 3, I believe we had that same availability. And then you also do have Bluetooth. So it shows you can actually we have the Bluetooth on, so that's how we were able to connect. If you don't want somebody to be able to connect to the vehicle, let's say you don't want to use that at all, you can turn that off. You can also change the vehicle name. It already is on Ford F-150, but let's say if you want to put it on blue F-150 or gray or F-150 silver like this one was, then you can do that and put the different color on there if you want to. And that's how, when people are searching for it, that's how it's going to come up on their phone. I've connected to several different F-150s, and I can't remember which one's mine versus the ones I've connected to for these videos, so it gets a little confusing, so you can always change that name right through there. Wireless app protection, so this actually allows for people to connect to you. You can show the password, you can reset the password, just to shows you when they're wanting to connect to the vehicle, what they're going to be looking for, the network name, that kind of thing. Then managing Wi-Fi networks, again, the Wi-Fi is turned on for this to be able to find Wi-Fi to connect to. So you can connect this vehicle to Wi-Fi, but it also can become its own hotspot, and phones can connect to it. So it gets a little confusing on what some of that is, but this actually shows you there what it's going to show you what networks are available to connect to via Wi-Fi. There you go. So there's one in this building that I'm in, so I can connect to that if I want to, instead of using data and that kind of thing. So available notification. So that'll actually pop up and let you know there's one available. And you usually can see that from the main screen as well. So if I go here, you can see right there. You click on that. Then if you want connectivity or you want Wi-Fi, you can try to find those. So you can find that information right up there as well. So let's see, where were we? On connectivity. All right, sync navigation. We actually already covered this earlier. So if you click on that, that is actually what we did see under the menu under the navigation screen. It's that same information right there as well. So, and there's one other thing I didn't talk about navigation. That might be a good time to talk about it. Was on these little arrows over here, you're not seeing it because it's going to this because it's not turned on. But there are areas where you can go straight to presettings for that navigation. I should have seen that in that video, but I just want to clarify that that is available on that. So go back to that. Talked about radio already. Let's talk about vehicle. Now this may be a little extensive, so a little long here, but so maybe a separate timestamp in the description down there. But several information here, like rear occupant alert. This is really cool. What it's going to do is it's going to, when you shut the vehicle off, it's going to warn you to check for rear occupants. That's a great safety feature in this. You can deactivate this, but if I were you, I'd leave it activated, especially if you have kids, infants, anything like that, anybody in car seats, just in case, you know, your mind wanders while you're on your way to work and you forget to drop them off at school or something, especially if you have an infant that's falling asleep or something like that, then you can, you know, maybe great information for you to go ahead and call them or to remind you to look back there for those people. I know there's been situations in the news and such where that's happened and kids have been left in vehicles. So great, I think it's a great warning. Going back to that, sorry, the vehicle shut off after a little while. I'll actually show you where to set that here in the vehicle settings, but you do have My Key as well. So My Key, there's a My Key information. So you have two admin keys right now and no My Key. You can create a My Key, and what that's going to do is just allows you can read through that, but it just allows for one of the keys to be given to, like, let's say you have a kid that's driving. You want to make sure they're being safe. They're putting their seatbelt on. They're not raising the volume too loud. They're not driving too fast. It will actually make it to where if their seatbelt's not on, the radio can't be turned on. Also, it will eliminate the volume of the radio to what you want it, as well as the speed. If you don't want them on the highways and such, you can eliminate how fast they're going as well. So pretty cool on some of those features, and you can create the My Key right from here. Onboard modem serial number, so that just tells you what the serial number is there. So right there. And then you do have remote start set up, so you click on that and you can, this is where you want to make sure that's activated if you want to be able to remote start your vehicle through the Ford Pass app, or if a vehicle that has remote start has it. This vehicle does not, but still has some controls there. As you can see, climate control, if I click on that, there's an auto setting and last setting. So auto means it's going to automatically turn the defrost on and the heat for the floor on there. So if your mirrors have heated mirrors, then it also activate the heated mirrors, as well as if so basically all the climate controls. Now last setting will be whatever you had in the vehicle. So once summertime hits and you don't need the defrost turned on in the summertime, you want to switch that over to last setting. So that way, if you have the AC on, you want to cool the vehicle off instead of warm it up. So you'll want to switch these back and forth in the spring and the fall to whatever it might be for your convenience there. Now there would also be another button if you have heated seats. You also have one for heated seats, and on that one too, auto would be to turn the heated seats on, and then you have off, which would not turn the heated seats on. Again, during the summer, you'd want to switch that over. And then duration, you do have whether it be 5, 10, or 15 minutes that a remote starts and then it shuts off. So let's say you remote start it and you got busy, you're not ready to leave yet, whatever it might be, then it won't keep it running. It'll shut it off after 5, 10, or 15, whatever you decide to do in here. You can run it through 2 cycles using the Ford Pass app or remote start button, but then you would have to start the vehicle with the key. Going back, we have wipers down here, so click on that, and this is just, this vehicle has courtesy wipe, which means that if you have the wipers turned on, maybe it's raining outside, or maybe you just went through a car wash or something and you wanted to wipe it and you turn them off, once it does that, it's going to do one last wipe. So, you know, sometimes you get some dribbles coming down, it'll give you one last wipe. If you have rain sensing wipers, it would show up in here as well, and you would want to activate rain sensing wipers, so then those would be able to work. You know, just turn those wipers on automatically. Once one of those intermittent settings, you would have to activate it through the wiper sections right there. Scroll on down, we still have more to cover. There we go. We have lighting. So in lighting here is where your auto high beams. So a lot of these vehicles, I know even on the XL, comes standard with auto high beams, which means if it's dark outside, those high beams will come on automatically and turn off when somebody approaches you. But if you don't like that, you can deactivate it just by moving that button over. You can just click on it, or you can drag it, whatever you want to. Actually, it looks like just click on it. You used to be able to just drag it. Daytime running lights, same way. If you don't want the daytime running lights on, then that's where you would want to hit that button and move it over. And then your auto lamp delay, and that is like once it's dark enough and they think your lights should come on, it'll wait 20 seconds and then turn them on. So if you don't see them come on automatically, and why aren't they coming on, change this to 10 seconds if you want, and it'll come on a little faster, that kind of thing. So that's where you would adjust that right there. Going back, we'll go to locks, okay, and we have auto unlock, which means when you shut the key off, it automatically unlocks the car. So if you don't like that, then you would want to switch that, tap on that, and switch and turn that feature off. Mislock chirp. This means that if you, let's say you shut the vehicle or you leave the keys inside and you lock the vehicle with the keypad or something, it'll it'll give you a chirp. It'll usually lock, beep twice, and let you know that either you left the keys in it or a door's open. So if you try to lock the vehicle and you shut the door and you don't shut the door all the way, it'll actually chirp at you. It'll like beep twice and let you know that your vehicle did not get locked, because if the door doesn't shut all the way, it will not lock it. It will actually keep it unlocked. And so it lets you know and warns you that you do not have the vehicle locked. Switches inhibitor. So you have that on. Basically, let's say your windows are rolled down, but your vehicle's locked. Somebody reaches in and tries to roll the window up or down or whatever it might be. They won't be able to. It inhibits these, so they can't unlock the vehicle. That kind of thing. So like on these, it's not really easy to pull those knobs, but if you, let's say you have the windows rolled down and your vehicle locked, they won't be able to unlock it from that. So that's what this is. It inhibits those switches when the vehicle is locked. The audible feedback, again, that's the chirp. So if you don't want that, that twice, let's say you lock it twice, you know how it beeps at you and lets you know you've locked it. If you don't like that, then you can deactivate that. And then remote unlock. This is a pretty cool feature. Right now it's on driver's door. So basically what that means is when I press the unlock button on the remote, when I press it once, what's it going to do? Unlock the driver's door, or is it going to unlock all the doors? So a lot of people like that on driver's door. If you just hit the unlock a second time, then it will open unlock the other doors as well. But you can switch that back and forth through there and unlock either all the doors or just the driver's door. So that's the locks. Gone through all the vehicle settings. So let's go back to settings here and go to general settings. And this is basically how you want things to read in your productivity screen as well as on this screen. Do you want to see everything in English, in Spanish, or in French? You can switch that up right there. The temperature, you like Fahrenheit or Celsius, you can switch that up as well. Then your measurements, miles and miles per gallon, or do you want it kilometers? You can switch that up right through those settings right there as well. Tire pressure, same way. If you want it in a different format, then you can change that through there. And then go down here, we do have the tap. You notice every time we've been pressing a button, it's been beeping. If you unhighlight that, you'll notice it's not beeping now. So that's where you would change that if you don't like that feature. Software license is in here, so you can click on that. It's going to show you where to find that information. For the software, send feedback. This is pretty cool. I do like this. This is new for Sync 4. It's, again, relaying information back and forth to Ford. So if you're having issues with your system, you can go ahead and tell them, hey, I'm having issues with the audio. Click on audio. I'm having problems with my phone call, with my voice control audio, with whatever it might be. You can click on that, and then you can hit that submit button up in their corner, and it submits that to Ford so that they can try to fix it or send a new update or push it to your car to hopefully fix it without having to go to the service department. Wouldn't that be great? So display. I noticed earlier if the touch screen is flickering, if there's a lack of response, sometimes you press on it and it takes a few seconds. You may want to submit that over to Ford so you can try to get that, see if they can fix that by doing an update or something, or without having to go into the service department. So pretty cool on how you can get that, send that feedback to Ford, especially if there's issues and everything. Ford really does like communication. They want their system to be, as good as it can be, and so hopefully this feature here will help us get that information back to them and get this system working really great. About Sync, that just gives you information about the sync, what version this is, that kind of thing, through that. Let's see what else. I think there's only one thing. And then you can also reset it. So let's say you've done some things, maybe you've even connected the Ford Pass and you want to reset it. You can click on that and reset that connection to Ford Pass. You can also do a master reset, and what that's going to do is reset anything you've done. So let's say you had presettings in your radio, or you connected all your phones. If you do a master reset, it's going to take it back to factory, and it's going to delete all that information. So that's something you can also do. If you're struggling, you did something, you don't know how to fix it, and you can't get it back, do the master reset, and you should be good to go if you want to there. So that's all your general settings. We have another section of more here. System update. Okay, this is where you can get the automatic over-the-air updates. So if you click that, highlight that, you're going to get those automatic updates. Then you can schedule your updates. So you click on schedule updates, and you can select what time you want it to update of the day, what day of the week. So it's going to do it once a week. It's going to check for an update, and if there's a new one, it'll go ahead and update the system for you. Again, it's doing over-the-air updates, does not need Wi-Fi connection for that. So then you can go ahead and select, let's say I want a Sunday night at midnight, then you can select that, and that's when it's going to do it, not while you're driving the vehicle. So that's the best thing to do there. And then update details, what now it's doing is it's checking for an update. So you can do it manually if you want to. It is up to date, don't have to do anything, but if it does need an update, it'll let you know there and allow you to update it right now if you want to. Some of those updates may take a while, so I do recommend you maybe do it overnight, something like that. So that way you're not doing it while you're driving and then you don't have any radio to listen to because it's doing an update. 911 Assist, when you first connect your phone, it will ask you if you want to activate the 911 Assist. And what 911 Assist will do, it will communicate to emergency contacts you have in here that you have downloaded to your phone, and I'll show you where you can select those, or to emergency services. So if you're in an accident and they detect that it's a qualified crash, they're going to try to connect you to 911 directly instead of having you have to do it, and by pressing a button on the overhead console that you can't even reach. It's going to allow you to do that, and so that way 911 can come to your safety. You can set emergency contacts as well right there. So as you can see, you have 2 different contacts you can select from your contact list. You just click the button and it's going to bring up your list, and you can go ahead and search for the people you want contacted. 2 different people right there. Go back. We do have the mobile apps, which we actually already talked about a little bit, but this allows you to be able to do that by USB. So Android apps via USB. So probably if I connected through USB with my phone, then I can probably find those apps. So I think it's going to find those iPhone apps a little bit easier in those Apple phones than it will be the Android, but we can connect the Android phone for a one-time upload to those apps and be able to hopefully give it some more options for some different apps. Display, you can click on that and it shows you some options. If you want to turn it off, you just press that and it's going to shut the screen off completely. Just press the screen and you're back and going. If you want the calm screen basically takes everything off except you get a clock and a date. So that's a pretty cool feature too. Again, just press anywhere and it's going to bring it right back on. Brightness, you can change your brightness of the screen through here. Right now it's kind of set in the middle. You can always reset it back to where it was if you want to at any time. And then also your mode. We always, factory it's going to be in auto mode, which means that if your lights are on, it's going to go to the night mode and it's going to see what you're seeing here, the blue screen. But if you're on the day mode, I'll show you that. It does actually take a little while, but if I go to the day mode, so you can manually say, I want it this way all the time, it's going to be more of a white screen. It does make it a little more difficult to see, but in the sunlight, it's great when you're outside. But at nighttime, it's really bright in here. So that's why they have the night mode, which gives you that blue background there, which is when we take pictures, that's why we always go to the night mode, and that's why we always turn the headlights on inside the building, so that way we get that auto, when you have an auto mode, the blue screen background, as you can see here. Okay, display settings, and then we have the voice control right here. We did kind of talk about this earlier, so if you click on that and then you can go to preferred word. Okay, right now we have hello Ford. If we go to OK Ford, it pulls it up, so then you can even gives you some options of some presettings of what you want to do there. It should even be able to control your climate as well. Let's see, I have the climate turned on, so let's try this. Okay, Ford. Okay, Ford. Climate.
Please use the buttons to make changes to the climate system.
Okay, so the 12-inch touchscreen, you can actually control the climate, probably because it's the electronic climate control, not the manual climate control. So that's the difference there. But some of the versions, especially the audio on the phone, you can do that. Okay, Ford. Okay, Ford. Sirius channel 21.
Tuning to channel 21.
So there it switches that Sirius satellite to channel 21. So pretty cool on how that works. So you can always, again, change your preferred word. So that way you don't have to press the button. It's doing it a lot like what you might have on your phone right now. So that's where it's going to be from the factory. We'll turn that advanced mode. Again, click on that. Don't know a lot about this. Is pretty new system here. Provides fewer prompts and examples. So basically less prompts, so it just makes it more conversational for you here. And since this is the upgraded, it gives you that more conversational type of commands. So just like talking to it instead, like you would your phone now, and how advanced they are. Phone confirmation, that just basically what it's going to do is it's going to confirm before placing the phone call. So if you say call so-and-so, instead of just automatically calling them, it'll come up and say, is this who you want to call? And then it'll listen for you again, and then you say yes, and then it calls. So it's just kind of a nice confirmation for you. Some people may want to activate that, or right now the confirmation is not on, but you may want to activate that. Voice command list, you want to turn that on. Basically if you don't activate this, then it won't give you the list. It's like when I said OK Forward earlier, it brought the list up and different commands that you can use. If you don't want that to come up on the screen, you can just deactivate it right there. And the command help. This is really cool. So if you want help with different things, this climate's not in there, but if you go to media, we can say, source to USB. So you can change it from AM/FM to the USB source. You can say listen to, and you can say the device name. Play a certain song if it's on if you're connected with the Bluetooth there. You can say different artists. I mean, there's a lot of options there, as you can see. Artist, album, that kind of thing, especially whatever's on your phone. So when you go to phone, you can say pair phone, you can say call a contact name, you can say send text to so-and-so. You can reply, it says even reply to email. So a lot more sophisticated, a lot more options there to you, different things. You can even text certain things to them. So this makes it a lot easier of not texting while you're driving by being able to even use a voice command to say, text Katie for are you free tonight? So basically it's going to text that wording over to that contact. So that's pretty cool. This just helps you out, giving you some of those options on radio. What are your options? You can say, FM, channel 89.7, and it's going to change the radio to that. Turn on radio, whatever it might be, because we have the radio, we have it turned down, but we do have it on. But so it really gives you those options of what you can do and what options you have. So if you're curious on that, you can go in there and go into that voice command help. And then valet mode, so that just allows you to put this in, give it a 4-digit number that you have to type in, so that it just enables a different thing, especially with that key. So that way, especially if you're in valet mode or whatever, then you can do that and get a special code. So they would need that code. So basically it'd say, okay, you're going to need to type in this code. So what happens is if you activate it and they start the vehicle, it's going to request that they put in a 4-digit code. So what's great about it is you do that 4-digit code and then you can delete it. So like, let's say you go out for dinner, you give it the 4-digit code, and when you're done for dinner, you get back in your vehicle, then you deactivate it. You delete that code out of there. So that's pretty cool. So that way they need that code, and only that person would be able to have access to that code. Vehicle hotspots, this is where you can create a hotspot for this vehicle. It does require subscription. Once it's activated, that's activated right there. Shows you this in here shows you your data usage information once you sign up for a subscription. Shows your settings, which gives you the hotspot, what's the name of it, and that kind of thing right there, so people can find it. And you can show them what the password is, so then they can go ahead and connect to it, and then you can, that's how they would connect. And then I was in settings. And manage devices shows you what devices are connected to that. Right now there aren't any devices connected to the Wi-Fi in here, and you can even block certain devices. So that way if you want to. And then you have getting help. So there's ways it shows you how to connect to the Wi-Fi, shows you how to activate it, shows you how to manage it. So it's pretty cool. You can just go through, and all the instructions are right here, easy to get to. I think there's a little, yeah, that's about it. Okay. And then that's all your settings. Now let's go to your features. So there are a few features here, but driver assistance, there will be quite a few features, so click on that. And these are all your safety features. In the past, they've had them in your productivity screen in front of your steering wheel. They've all moved them to the screen now, so that way people that are passengers can help you take care of these if you want, so you can keep your eyes on the road and driving. There is an auto hold, so you can activate it. Auto hold means it will hold the brake for you. You can take your foot off the brake, and it's going to hold the brake. If you're on a hill, if you're at a stoplight, your foot's tired, you can turn that auto hold on. This is where you would want to do that. Lane keeping system. That just allows you to keep you in your lane or alert you if you leave your lane. So there's two different modes. So you do have the alert mode, as you can see in the image there, that would actually vibrate the steering wheel if you leave your lane. You have the aid system, and it's showing, that image is showing you how it's going to keep you in your lane. So if you get over to the line, it's going to kind of bump you back over and keep you in your lane. There is an alert and aid. I think what it does is vibrate the steering wheel but keep you in your lane, so that it kind of lets you know that you've gotten close to that line. You might want to be careful. And then you have lane keeping intensity, and that is normal, high, or low. So especially if you're on the highway, you may want to have that on high, but otherwise you may want it on normal or low. So it comes from the factory on normal there for that intensity. You do have pre-collision assist with automatic emergency braking. So pre-collision assist will basically just let you, if there's a car in front of you that's stopped and you're going too fast, it will alert you. It will message on your productivity screen as well as tones that you need to stop. And then if you don't, it's going to initiate the brake support, and this shows you that the emergency braking is activated. If you don't want that, you can deactivate it, and you can show your alert intensity, how early or how late. As you notice, if I put it on high, it widens that gap. If you put it on low, it's when you're really close, comes from the factory in that normal setting. Some people have said, hey, it's never gone off to me. Well, you might have had it set on low, and that's probably why, because you've never been in a situation because you've been a good driver and have been paying attention. So that's how pre-collision assist and how you would adjust some of those settings and activate it. Or if you don't think it's working, go into your pre-collision assist and make sure it's activated right there too. You have your rear view camera, so a couple options there. You do have the enhanced parking aid. What that does is you can see those lines in that image there. It does, as you turn the steering wheel, it will turn the white lines to show you where you're going to be going if you continue turning in that direction and that way, but you still have your guidelines there too to line you up. And I love the dotted lines, works real nicely when we're parking in this picture building on top of this turntable. Makes it real easy. You do have rear camera delay, and what that's going to do is it's going to delay once you when you're in reverse and then you go to put it in drive, then it'll delay the camera being on for a little bit before it turns it off. So just something you can have on. Right now it's not on, but you can turn that on if you want to. And then moving on down, you do have reverse aid. There is a reverse sensing, so if you want the reverse sensors on, then you would make sure it's activated. You can turn it off. Some people may want to deactivate that if they're backing up to a trailer. That might be one reason why they might want to deactivate that. Moving on down, there's a driver alert. That's part of the lane keeping system. Basically, the system's going to monitor whether or not you have your hands on the steering wheel. So if you have that activated, if you take your hands off the steering wheel often enough, it'll alert you and let you know you've done that, and you need to put your hands back on the steering wheel. And that's what that's how you would activate and deactivate that setting there for the alert. Going to towing, this is a truck, an F-150, so this does have some ways for the towing to help you out. There's a connection checklist, which is really cool. Click on that, and you have conventional, so that's your bumper or your tow package hitch back there. You have fifth wheel and gooseneck as well. So if I click on conventional, it's 8 steps to make sure you've done that. Did you make sure you lock the tongue or the ball down? Did you connect your electrical connections there? Did you put your chains on? Did you do any breakaway switch? If you have it, is that connected? Did you check your lights correctly? Make sure they're working. Did you pull up the tongue? So that's not going to be an issue when you're driving. Did you adjust any mirrors, especially if you have trailer tow mirrors? Did you extend those out if you want to adjust them for your trailer? And then did you check your trailer brake controller if you have one and make sure the gain is where you want it? So that's a pretty cool little checklist, and that's right in there. And then you can add a trailer at times. So if you we'll go ahead and connect a trailer and go through all that, then you can actually add a certain trailer, especially if you have a trailer brake controller. That may be very important to add that trailer, so that way it adjusts that gain for that automatically for you. And then here you can select any active trailer, but we'd have to add the trailer first, and then we could select the trailer, and then we can manage trailers. So you can actually delete trailers out of there if you want to. After you've added different trailers, if you never plan on using that one again or whatever. Trailer connection notification, so when you connect one, it'll actually notify you that you've connected that. Also trailer sway control, you want to make sure that's turned on. Right now it's activated for the truck. It comes with trailer sway control. Last thing I want to talk about is the owner's manual. Digital owner's manual, part of Sync 4 is now here, so you don't have to get the book out of the glove box if you have any questions, or even go online. You can do it right through here. You have categories there. So you can see there is a search button up above, so you can just actually search for certain features if you want to. Right through there, you can go to categories, general information, seats, doors, windows, keys, exterior, driving, operating. I mean, there's all the different categories, basically your index information. If you click on that, okay, 4-wheel drive, if equipped, what's all this, automatic transmission, there's all kinds of information right here. Your owner's manual is right here in your screen, believe it or not. You can also do a visual search, which is pretty cool. So it's showing you the steering wheel, and you're like, well, what's that button do right there? Okay, it's C. Well, if I click on C, now it's telling me that that is selecting a radio station. So that's like, instead of tuning your radio station, you can just use the button on the steering wheel instead. So that's pretty cool. It has a visual. If you go over, it actually shows you more. This is an instrument panel area here. It shows you what those buttons are for the radio and everything for your vehicle. Also shows you the cabin information, the console, what everything does. Those are all in there. Pretty cool. Outside of the vehicle, what's that sensor? What are those tow hooks for? And what are those? What about your lights? So you have that back of the vehicle too. Goes through that and then it brings you back to the beginning. So that's pretty cool, having a visual look if you want to. Not everything's going to be listed there, but some of the basic things will be on there. Bookmarks. Here's what's cool. If let's say you go into these categories and you select a certain feature. If I get to one, see there's a little bookmark there. So if I click on that, now that's bookmarked. Let's say I want to know that for the future. Go back to that. If you go to your bookmarks, well, there it is right there. So you can go in there and find it. Now I'm going to go ahead and unhighlight that so it's not in there for the next owner, but that's where then the bookmarks should be in there. Really convenient. Also, there's videos. So Ford's been putting videos on their YouTube channel for some of these features, and it's for this purpose in general. So they've embedded those in here. So as you can see, there's videos for the latch system. Some of these videos are saying coming soon. Some of them are actually already online and in the system. Again, another reason for the automatic updates, when they do some more videos, then they can update those videos and put them in here. So if I do click on that, that is a video. See, it's 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Is the safety belt the only way to attach my child seat?
How else can I attach my child seat? What are these anchors in my rear seat?
Your vehicle may have a latch system that makes securing your child seat easy. And
So-
can help keep your child.
So there you go. So you can watch those videos if you want more information too, and they tell you more information. I know a lot of you out there watching this video probably like that feature. So though they do have video tutorials in here, as you can see, different categories in here, and watch all kinds of videos that tell you more about your vehicle. So love the digital owner's manual. That's a great feature that they really highlighted really big on the reveal for the F-150, and that is now in here as well as part of this. I think I've covered everything as part of this system. And of course, if you have any questions, drop them down in the comments. But let's go outside and do a little recap. So hope you enjoyed that video. This a nice how-to video on the new Sync 4 system with the 8-inch touchscreen. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, standard on your all your F-150s, XL trim and above. Of course, you can on the 101A equipment group for the XL as well as your XLT can get that upgraded system with the more voice recognition system there with voice activated commands that you have in there with the connected navigation, as we did demonstrate with this particular one here. So really great video. So if you have any questions, of course, you can call or send us a text message. Numbers are on the screen. You can also check out our website for inventory with this system in it. Of course, all the 21 F-150s will have this system in it, all your XLs and XLT, most of your XLTs. Of course, always check out that website if you see a vehicle there you'd like more information on. We can help you out. Again, we can ship to about anywhere for free. So the way that works is we just ask you to finance a vehicle with us. If you finance it with us, we can ship up to about $1,000, which gets us to about anywhere in the country outside of Alaska and Hawaii. For free. So just finance a vehicle with us, still get the great internet price that's online, and can get the vehicle shipped to your door. So like I like to say to our customers is that get the vehicle from a dealership that knows their product, can get a vehicle ordered the way you want it to, and ship it right to your door. So not a better way to get a vehicle than that. So reach out to us. We have a lot of people that do that every month. We sell about 25 different states every month in and month out. About 20% of our business is outside of the state. So we know a little bit about delivering vehicles to customers in other states, so take advantage of that as well. And again, be looking for these videos. If you want to see some of the different customer complete guide walkarounds, be looking at that. Hit the red subscribe button down below so you can get subscribed to our YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell. You'll also get notified the next time another video uploaded to our YouTube channel. If you like this video, go ahead and smash that like button, put your comments down below, and don't forget to share this video out to your friends, colleagues, and neighbors. They may be interested in this system, especially if they have a 21 F-150 and want to learn more about it. As you can tell with this video, it was very extensive, so probably not sitting in a dealership and having a dealer go through this with you, so you're probably wanting to learn more about it. So hopefully this video helped you out. Don't forget you can find us on social media. We're at Law McArthur on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. So check out one of your favorite social media sites and look for us there, follow us there, and get more information on what's going on here at the dealership. So until the next video, we'll see you later.